Already, we are live. Yeah, we gotta start because Angel
procrastinating as usual.
Ja.
Ooh.
Here we are. At the library. You see, I got this chessboard here. Let me see. See this chessboard? We're talking about learning some chess. Well, I'll be teaching some of this chess here because it's a good game. It's a good game. Dynamic, complex, simple, but I am not the chess champion of Ballard. I'll tell you what, you may get to see, I'm giving you a little preview of what is to come. Our friend Merlin may eventually join us for some chess. But until that happens, it's us here. It's us doing our thing, getting ready, How many of y'all know how to play chess? Right? Sometimes I hear different rules. Actually, Chessman, another player you may get to meet, he was trying to show me some move that I never heard of before. He brought out a book and was telling me about it. But again, overall, it's pretty simple. The general rules: white goes first. Pawns move 2 spaces from the beginning, or 1 space. Right? So I can move right there, or I can move right there. Okay. And then it'd be the other player's turn, and we're still waiting on Angel. But before we get to that, why don't you all say hi to Watts?
What's up, everybody?
We out here, see, ready for y'all, right? The library.
Yes, sir.
Got pen and paper ready too. Let's see here.
Doing some computer converting.
That's right. In the zone, focused, Got a notepad, laptop. Got some books, We can do some reading. But right now, again, we're just kind of warming up. We're just getting ready. We're waiting on our third person here. And she's been enjoying the process of learning chess, and we'll see how it goes from there. So let me set the phone. Let me see. I want to give you some kind of background. So in the meantime, you can look at something while you wait. We'd be talking about Florida. So for those who know Florida or understand the land of the tropics, this for you.
How many people are watching already?
We got 4 people watching right now. Oh. Yeah, feel free to join. You know, we're at the moment we're taking guests. How many of y'all know how to play chess? Let me see some. Let me see some. Let me see some love for the players out there. I don't know if I'm not seeing any of the regulars. I'm not seeing any of my people, but still, welcome in. It's always nice, you know. More the merrier, and all that. Let me see. Yes, welcome in. Again, we're learning chess a little bit. We're just kind of warming up here, so learn some chess. You know, we're working on this. Working on this project here. Working on this project. So let me see. Change this one. Let's go to the studio. We'll go in the studio here. What do you think about that? You like that? That's the studio right there. See those screens in the background? Yep. Because, I think it's funny, I think it's funny that we plan things, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's bad to plan. There's that thing, right? Success is preparation meets opportunity, right? If you don't plan, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. These types of things, right? It's like the effort bears fruit regardless of how long or, like little things build up. And so the expectations, I feel like, again, are, you may form them, you may not. You may have gotten into your zone so deep that, you've gotten past expectations, However, I think that it is very natural, probably unavoidable to have, expectations. We go through certain patterns in life, and it is what it is. So, but I bring up this focus because, games. That's what I wanted to talk about. Angel's still not here, but that's what I was trying to get into. It's like every man, I feel like, needs to be the champion of something. I think that, oftentimes actually being the champion of a game, a champion of a sport, champion of a, book, like a bookie, like a predictor of the, everyone's got to have their throne of sorts, and I think that you can do that consciously, which leads to prosperity for the proprietor, the participants, for everyone. Or you can do it unconsciously and cause collateral damage, or again, just, add to the confusion. God forbid, because I think we got enough of that already. So now here's the thing. I think that when you're playing, right, when as a player, you see that you get, better and better results. You become a better player, right? You put in more time, behind the wheel, put in more time on the field, put in more time, again, you start seeing at the gym, right? You start improving, right? You start seeing the results. But the interesting thing about, being a lover of the game, being a lover of the players, right? I think you see that you reach a peak. You become the best, and then there's a new challenge. Who do you face? Are you having fun anymore? Are you having fun? And that's the thing. I think that's kind of the hero's journey. I feel like that's kind of the hero's journey. Again, you got to, you kind of keep starting over, find a new game. You know what I mean? Find a new approach, a new angle in the same game, perhaps. But you must maintain, your dignity. You know what I'm saying? I think that I say you must maintain it because sometimes you must maintain it, but I also say it as a reminder that the dignity is there. It's not that you have to protect it all the time or per se, but just as a reminder. So yeah, for me, I'm gonna be teaching chess because it's a good game. I'm not bad. I taught chess at sea. My man Bet never knew how to play chess, so I would teach him. And he was getting better. He started learning some of the tricks, how to castle. There's so many things, right? You get your pawn all the way to the other side of the board. The pawn transforms into a captured piece, right? So that's where the whole thing, lead with your queen, they steal her, but she comes back. That's I remember that's what I was thinking, right? Because Bet, again, as I was teaching him, it's like he was really new to the game, right? So. Of course, I think we ended on 7-0, 7 wins for me. He didn't, but he was getting better and he was learning again how to castle. He was learning the whole thing with the queen. It's because the queen is powerful, right? She moves all over the board, however many paces she wants, and yet you can lose her so quickly too because you kind of lose track when you're just swinging constantly for the hills. You start missing the things. You start missing things too. And so that's why when you lose the queen, again, it feels like such good redemption to transform your pawn back into the queen. So anyway, let me leave you with that. Again, I'm gonna give you another break, and we're still waiting on Angel, so bear with us. And thanks for being there. Hold tight. And yeah, please go ahead and tap that screen. Thank you for the likes. Tap that screen. Go ahead and share it. More the merrier. Again, we're learning here, so I may get into some of the reading. So again, if you all want to see, some of the, let me see here. Let's see if we can get this on there. Hold on. Oop. It's not working right here. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get this. Can't see it still. You can see my hand there. Okay. I'm going to put it on the screen. Let's see here. Change the background. What is this? You've got a flash goal. Let's see what that is. All right. Yep. We need 3 gifters to send a rose in 15 minutes. Let's go.
Good afternoon, Ballard Library. This is an invitation to everyone to join us for our Wednesday movie, which happens in about 20 minutes. We're going to Paris today.
Motherfucker. Motherfucker.
There you go. This is what we may be reading from. For those of you who are subscribed to me on YouTube or maybe seen me here before, you know I like to read from this book. I just finished chapter 8. It is phenomenal. Man, I got to be honest. I have gained more respect for Dean Graziosi recently from chapter 8 of this book. You know, because you see people all the time, you know, championing this or selling that, or, you know, oh my God, the secret formula for whatever. And you're just kind of like, well, good for you, man. Like, why are you trying to sell it to me? Like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, if it's so great, why keep it for yourself, right? Don't, why in my face about it? I don't know about you, but sometimes I've been in that position. I've felt like, take your product somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? But I will say that after reading chapter 8 of this book, I can see that, you know, he works with what's his name, Tony Robbins. I mean, he even mentions in earlier on in one of the chapters, like not in the first chapter, but he mentions Eckhart Tolle. Sounds like he's met him. I feel like, you know, it's one of those interesting things. It's kind of like, you know, sometimes they say don't judge a book by its cover. Let's see here. They say don't judge a book by a cover for a lot of different reasons, but I think that what I'm trying to get at here is that sometimes you don't judge a really, really fancy or a really shiny or a really polished book by its cover, you know, because I feel like, I mean, I actually remember I did a video about Dean Graziosi a while back. It was kind of like just a funny, like, you know, I was parodying, you know, his like over enthusiastic kind of energy. You know, you got this, you know, oh, you know, again, we're gonna change your life and we're gonna blah 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 blah. And it's like, it's kind of like, bro, like, what are you so excited for, man? Like, relax a little bit. And but you know, again, I wasn't, I don't, you know, it was in good, you know, it was in good sport. I wasn't like, you know, I mean, I remember one of my buddies, he thought it was funny, and you know, so it wasn't anything but putting him down. It was just kind of like, you know, just kind of impersonating, or like, what's it called, doing an impression of Dean Graziosi. And, you know, and so like, again, Dean Graziosi. And, and so like, again, you probably have, seen this man, with Tony Robbins on YouTube and one of the ads. You may have seen it from back in the day. I don't know, again, exactly. I don't know everything about him, but I think he's probably like, mid 50s, maybe later, could be 60s. I'm not sure. But he's been around for a little while. And anyway, I just feel like after reading chapter 8 of this book, I've gained a new degree of respect, because I think that, the book, again, the cover of the book, sometimes, we want it to be gritty, you know what I mean? Like when you see a book that's got like, things written on it, and, you can tell that it's, that it might be like a, well-kept family record, or, there's a certain there's just certain impressions that you get from the way the book is bound or whatever. And I think that, it's important to remember that, like all that glitters may not be gold, but sometimes it is, That's kind of what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to put y'all back on hold for a minute. We'll go right back into the studio, so bear with me. All right, come on, show some love. You know what I'm saying? You want to learn some chess? You want to get some reading? Show me some love. Tap that screen. Tap that screen. Share the live. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know how your day's going. It'll make a difference. And if you want to come talk, please, you're welcome. We're open to guests. Yeah, you know, this isn't cater to the crowd time. This is not what I'm doing. I just got time on my hands. You know, got really the future unfolding, and I'm free and frankly grateful, thankful. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm just happy to, you know, have a conversation. I was just talking to Watts here about how, you know, I see, you know, some of the Aki out there, and, you know, it's great to have you. Peace and blessings, you know, going out for sure. You know, I think that's what I'm like getting at too with the whole cover and book thing. It's like you might know somebody for one part of their life. You know what I'm saying? You might know them for their church or, you know, their clothing or just a moment. You might know somebody for a moment, but it doesn't mean doesn't mean you know the riches of their life. You know, you might that moment might just be a moment where you see them in their riches. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean they're even more rich. Okay. Or again, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, there's so many dimensions to life. There's like, I mean, if you're framing life where boringness is a resource, you know, well, then it's kind of like, wow, it only gets better. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, in the sense that I think there's so much of life that it's like, feels like filler, you know, feels like, you know, it feels like you're just waiting for the next thing to happen, and not necessarily bad. You're kind of just like, well, you know, like it's the weekend, you know what I'm saying? Like what, you know, there's, you know, like, or you know what I'm saying? Where you just have like an abundance of options. You just got an abundance of time. You got abundance of, what can I say? Like, you know, games, you know, so you're kind of like, well, it's up to you now. It's up to you. It's up, you know, I'm presently capable of meeting you in your element. So, you know, by all means, dozo yoroshiku. I see my Aki out there, you know what I'm saying? I see the bras. I see the people, you know. I'm waiting for fam. I'm waiting for fam because it's always good seeing fam, you know what I mean? Speaking of fam, I saw fam this morning, Epic. I saw Epic this morning. You know, we're keeping the vibe strong, you know, we're keeping things moving along. You know, we're not hooping these days. But anyway, yeah, we're just chopping it up for a little bit. So, I think I gotta charge my phone some. Honestly, I thought I had it charged. But, yeah, we're getting into it. You know, we're warming up here. There's no premiere set. But, you know, here at the library, you know, we learn, you know what I'm saying? We earn, we're between two ferns, you know what I'm saying? You know, nerds, you know what I'm saying? Geeks, freaks, you know what I'm saying? Deacons and the meek, you know what I mean? Let me let it leak, you know what I'm saying? Jocks too, you know what I'm saying? It's not about mocking, but let's let loose sometimes, you know what I'm saying? We can keep it tight, you know, through the night, but still got to ride into that sunlight, that beautiful morning dawn. So let's see here. So we could do some of the reading from like I said. Of course, we can also go back to. We can go back to. Let me bring it up here. All right, Thursday night. Okay. Come and join us out here. This is, I believe, for last week. These ladies were performing, but it's going to be happening, should be happening again this Thursday. So come on out, we'll have a good time. Let me know if you're there. Yeah, just a quick shout out to the Comedy Battle Royale. However, I just got to take another moment here to tell you about this book. Okay, apparently I learned this, right? Here, I gotta grab the book.
Good afternoon, Ballard Library. This is an invitation to everyone
me.
to join us in the meeting.
So I just finished chapter 21, and I found out that this is the first of a trilogy, with the second installment actually being at the end of the book. Again, I'm not doing too much, and I'm not, by any means exaggerating when I say I don't think I've read a captivating book the way I have with this one. Maybe since John Irving or J.K. Rowling. As a novelist, Scott Sigler. This is a trilogy. That's amazing. The first book is already so simple, but so deep. So primal. He makes a mention at the end of the book, not to give any spoilers away. But I just gotta, I don't know what to say, blab, I suppose, or praise this book somewhat, because after, if you read 2 chapters into it, and put it down, hey, that's you. But yeah, I could not stop reading. I haven't finished it yet, and again, I'm excited that there's 2 more installments. If they keep the energy of this one, Scott Sigler is looking like my new John Irving. For those of you keeping track, 158-Pound Marriage. I've been reading. Let me bring that one up here so you can see what I'm talking about. Another John Irving book. See, 158-Pound Marriage. I've been a fan of John Irving for a long time. Again, The Fourth Hand, World According to God, Prepare for Owen Meany. What was it? The Miracle Mile? Not the Miracle Mile. There's John Irving. He's written so many books. Several made into motion pictures. He is a very talented writer, and so I'm just saying, John Irving has been one of my favorite novelists, one of my favorite American novelists, and with Scott Sigler doing what he's doing with Alive, I'm excited. So, and let me go back to this one. I think I probably have mentioned it before, but one more time, I'm just going to bring it up here. This was a gift to me. Raven, Leilani, Luster, also been very surprising. So just throwing this out there. for for your entertainment purposes, your educational purposes. Yeah, it's still another modern novel about sexuality coming from the perspective of of a young Black American woman. Yeah, I think that I feel like Black American woman. Yeah, I think that I feel like how personal she gets. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot that stops me from getting into these pages either. I just can't finish everything at once, right? So I'm taking one step at a time. But this one stays with me. I'll be getting into it more later on after I finish some of these books and whatnot. But I have to throw it out there because it's. I mean, again, I'm not just blabbing here. It's like you. Let me know your thoughts. Like if you read some of it and you're just like, no, this is I don't know why you told me about this. Then hey, that'll then whatever. You know what I mean? Like if it has to come to that, it has to come to that. But otherwise, I'm just giving you a good tip on something to enrich your life. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and take another break real quick, get back to the studio. So thanks for being here. me see. Okay. All right. Progress. Okay. You see? Valid move. Valid move. Your turn. Aha. And we're going to cut to break.
now it's not wanting to convert.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. So we're back. And I was thinking, for those who don't know, Moriyasu Miracles is no longer a thing, but I think that maybe I can teach y'all to play some Magic as well. I might just, I could upload some of my arena play, or I could bust out the actual paper decks and get, do some tutorials on here as well. So, because, hey, what I'm saying, we got to fill our lives with that joy. I mean, we don't got to. We can just receive it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, you got to feel what you got to feel. But all I'm saying is it's my move right now. And I see how we are playing this game here. Check. Can anyone tell me why I just put him in check? Let me know in the comments below. We might do a giveaway,
Can't this go right here? No. So how many moves can this one make?
That one can make any amount of spaces in diagonally.
Only diagonally?
Only diagonally.
Well, I guess that's the end of the game.
No. You could put your king in front of the queen. We'll be right back. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? I think we're going to call it right here. So we're going to set the board up.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm going to set the board up for next time. But until then, give you some parting words from Watts. What are you going to leave him with, Watts?
When you give someone a watch, what my father was telling me was, don't waste your time.
Yep. Don't waste your time. Watch that clock.
Right.
That's how you get that rock. Right when you're supposed to. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
I feel bad when you gave me that watch too, because I ended up pawning it this week.
Ah, shit.
It was a nice watch. It was a polo watch.